Hello and welcome to our Betfred Sports Talk here at the Quest Media Network studios. I'm Lewis and I'm joined by Peter Spencer from Betfred. How are you doing today, Peter?
Yeah, great, thanks very much.
Well, we'll start with a bit of transfer talk. Ilkay Gundogan, he's obviously on the move, he's going to Barcelona. City will be looking to find a replacement, and Declan Rice looks odds on to go to City now.
Yeah, Betfred now have Declan Rice 8-11, so odds on to join Manchester City. A lot of the media seem to think he'll be going to Arsenal, and we do have Arsenal at evens with Betfred. It's quite a dilemma for him because he's got the two top teams in the land, both looking for his signature. City, would he make a start? Would he want to start every single game? Arsenal are saying that they want to build a team around him. That sounds ominous for me. I've heard that a million times when they're trying to entice a player. At City, kind of guaranteed he'd win more trophies than Arsenal, so quite a big choice for him there. City have not made a bid as yet, but it's one is sort of pending. And then you think, well, where would Declan Rice fit into that City team? Probably a bit more forward in the midfield, whereas at Arsenal he could basically pick wherever he wanted to play. So the latest on Declan Rice's future is City 8-11. Betfred have Arsenal at evens. Chelsea and Manchester United are both 16-1. They're backup positions really. We do think it'll be between City and Arsenal. And also staying at West Ham, that's 16-1. So all eyes on the Declan Rice future.
Definitely, that should hot up in the next few days, I'm sure. We'll move on to the Ashes as well. Australia, unfortunately for us, taking that win in the end. How do you think that went?
Well, I thought it was fascinating how it evolved, that game. Bazball just failed at the last minute, but fantastic entertainment, and it's great that England have grasped the nettle and decided we're going to do something to enlighten Test match cricket. And they certainly did that. Unfortunately, as you say, they just got over the line, the Australians. And for the second test at Lords, which starts next Wednesday, the Australians are the favourites, 21-20, to go on and win that again. England 7-5. And the series winner, well, those odds have changed quite dramatically now. So Betfred have England to win 2-1, that's 28-1. 3-1, that's 16-1. But look at these odds now, it's piled in now. A lot of Australians think it's going to be a whitewash. So 5-0 is 15-2. Australia winning the series 3-0 is 20-1. And to be the top batter, well, Joe Root's still leading the way, he's 11-8. Steve Smith 9-2. And then of the sort of players who come in at 3 or 4, Travis Head and Harry Brook, they're both 14-1 shots to be the top batter of the whole series.
Moving on to the Betfred Super League, Saints were beaten quite heavily last night by Hull. What do you think went wrong there?
Well, I think that Saints, well, they just weren't on it. They've got a few injuries, but they'll never say their excuses. Hull were desperate to get some revenge of him being knocked out of the Betfred Challenge Cup, and they really went at it. I thought Paul Whelan's, the Saints coach, was very measured in his assessment afterwards. He was asked why he didn't start with James Roby for the first half, and he just turned around to the interview and says, I've been asking that question on myself all evening. So he was really, really honest and quite humorous in his response there. But it was a mistake to not start with James Roby, because Hull FC just controlled the whole game. They got 6 tries, and they've gone. One of their players was saying afterwards that he felt it was the time that they really started chasing down the leading pack. And the odds have changed now for a grand final win. Betfred now have Hull coming from 50-1 to 33-1 to make it to the grand final, or to win the grand final. St Helens have maintained their position. They're 15-8 favourites to win the Betfred Super League grand final. Wigan and Warrington are both 4-1 shots. And Catalans, they always seem to be slipping down the betting odds, but I think they should be higher than that. They're 9-2 to win the Betfred Super League Grand Final. Lee and Salford, well, Lee are 12-1 shots and 14-1, and it is developing into quite a dramatic Betfred Super League. We've got 12 points separating the top 10 teams, and who would have thought that halfway through the season we'd have Saints at 5th place and Wigan at 6th place, behind teams such as Lee, newcomers, and Salford in 3rd and 4th, with Catalans and Warrington in the top two slots, both on 22 points.
And we've got a few teams in action tonight as well. Can you tell us a bit more about those?
Yeah, well, we've got Castleford against Warrington. Castleford, they're being cast adrift at the bottom of the table now. They're second from bottom. So we do think that that'll be a victory for Warrington to pile on pressure on Catalans at the top, because they're both on equal points, as I've said. So Warrington are 3-10 with Betfred to go and win this game and pick up both points. And then Catalans, they play on Saturday in France at the home ground. They're 1-5 to beat the newcomers Lee. So I don't see big changes at the top or the top two positions come this time Monday morning. On Sunday, probably the most eagerly awaited, certainly locally, we've got Salford against Wigan, and Wigan are odds on to go on and win that and force their position as one of the top teams to emerge this season.
And moving on to the Betfred Royal Ascot, it was a 9th Gold Cup win for Frankie Dettori.
Yeah, well, Frankie Dettori grabbed all the headlines, as he would in his last Royal Ascot. And he's not the only winner, because we've got 2 big winners at Betfred so far. We've got lots of winners, but 2 huge ones for small stakes. On day 2, we had somebody who bet £1 or £10 in total on a lucky 15 and a 50p accumulator, and he picked up £41,303. He's from Liverpool, and also from Liverpool. We had another guy who bet had a £1 each way lucky 63 bet. He got 3 winners, 1 placed and 2 losses at Ascot, but didn't matter for him because he won £326,000.
My goodness, that's a lot of money, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, congratulations to him. And if you do fancy a bet, like our good men there from Merseyside, and have a chance of winning, you can bet online, on the app, or in Betfred stores.